Two-way tables. The learning objectives. By the end of this section, you should be able to use two-way tables to calculate probability, construct a two-way table from given information, calculate missing values in a two-way table, and use two-way tables to record possible outcomes of events. A two-way table is used to display data connecting two variables. One variable is collected in the rows and the other is collected in the columns. Two-way tables can be used to calculate probabilities. The table records the colour and make of cars passing a school in 1 hour. The two variables recorded in this table are colour and make of car. It's not a requirement, but adding two totals columns can help with checking accuracy and calculating probabilities. So we have a total on the bottom and a total along the side. So along the bottom row, we've got the total number of blue cars, total number of white, total number of red. And going down the right hand side, we've got the total of Kias, total of Fords, and total of Fiats. And the bottom right box is the total of everything. So check you've filled out a table correctly. If you add up all the columns and then add all those totals, add up all the rows and then add those totals, all the numbers should match up. If a car is selected at random, what is the probability that it will be a blue Kia? So the probability of a blue Kia is how many blue Kias are there over the total number of cars. So for the table, we can say the probability of it being a blue Kia is 3 out of 30 or 1 out of 10. A blue car is selected at random. What is the probability it will be a Ford? Well, this time we've got the probability of being a blue Ford is the number of blue Fords that we have and the total number of blue cars, because it was a blue car that's been selected. So that gives us a probability of 5 over 10 or 1 over 10. A blue car is selected at random. What's the probability that it will be either a Kia or a Ford? Well, this time, the probability of being a Kia or a Ford is the number of blue Fords plus Kias over the total number of blue cars. So we have the probability of it being a Kia or a Ford is 3 plus 5 over 10, which gives us 8 over 10, and finally 4 over 5. So if you open up the worksheet and go through the questions, once you've got answers, come back and check them. So pause the video now and do that. So question 1, we have 1 over 10. Question 2, 3 out of 10. Question 3, 5 out of 11. 4, 11 over 14. 5, and again 11 over 14. 6, 18 over 25. 7, 7 out of 10. Finally for 8, you have 18 out of 25. If you've got any problems with that, go back and check them, see where you made your mistakes. The table records the favourite sport of 120 children. Complete the table. So we've been given a table that is missing information in there. First thing we do, look at the question. Is there any information given in that question that we can add straight to the table? Well, if we read it, the total number of students is 120, so we can add that to our total column. There we have 120. If there is one value missing from a row or a column, we can use the other values to work it out. So what is the total number of girls? We know the total number of children is 120, 65 of them were boys, therefore the total number of girls must be 120 minus 65, which gives us 55. What is the total number of children that preferred a sport other than rugby or football? So if we look at the bottom totals row, we know that again there's a total of 120. We know that 50 chose rugby, 50 chose football. So the total will be 120 minus 50 plus 55, which gives us a total of 15. How many boys preferred a sport other than rugby or football? So this time again, we're going to be looking at a column. So we know that the total numbers that chose a sport other than rugby or football was 15. 10 of them were girls, which means the boys is 15 minus 10, which gives us 5. How many boys preferred rugby? Again, we're going to look at a row. We know the total number is 65. So we have 65 minus 35 plus 5, and it gives us 25. How many girls preferred football? So we look at the football column. We have 55 minus 35 gives us 20. And lastly, how many girls preferred rugby? Well, because there's only one square missing, we could either use a column or a row to find the missing figure. And it would be 50 minus 25 or 55 minus 20 plus 10. Either way, that will give us an answer of 25. So that's how we work our way through missing values in a table. Again, turn to the worksheet, work through the questions. Once you've got on them, come back and check your answers. So pause the video now. So for question 1, part A, there's the numbers in the table. B, 3 over 20. C, 12 out of 25. And D is 1 out of 2. For question 2, there's the numbers for the table. Part B, 2 out of 15. C, 19 out of 25. And D, 19 out of 75. So again, if you've made any mistakes, go back and look over your work and see if you can identify where you made it. So here we have another question. 100 people were asked to choose their favourite genre of film from sci-fi, comedy and thriller. 12 of the adults chose thriller as their favourite genre. 18 children chose comedy as their favourite. A quarter of all the people in the survey were adults who chose sci-fi. The ratio of adults to children who preferred sci-fi was 5 to 4. And finally, 22% of all people surveyed chose thriller as their favourite genre. So this type of question is similar to before. We've actually got to work a little bit to try and work out the figures. First thing we do, what information is given in the question which can be directly entered into our table? Well, we know there are 100 people in the survey. So we've got 100 people in there. 12 of the adults chose thriller as their favourite genre. Enter that number in there. And 18 children chose comedy as their favourite. So we can put that in the table. Now we work through every line in the question to find further figures to enter into the table. So if we look at this line, a quarter of all the people in the survey were adults who chose sci-fi. So how many adults chose sci-fi as their favourite genre? We know there was 100 in the survey, and a quarter of all those people were adults who chose sci-fi. So over 100 divided by 4 gives us 25. enter that value in the table. The next line, the ratio of adults to children at sci-fi was 5:4. So how many children chose sci-fi as their favourite choice? So the adults to children is 5:4. We know that the adults, there were 25 of them. So if the adults to children is 5:4 and 25 adults chose that, how many children chose it? 20, so we can put that in. 22% of all people surveyed chose thriller as their favourite genre. So what was the total number of people who chose thriller? Well, we know the total number is 100, 22% of that. 22% of 100 is 22, so we can now put that in the table. We now have enough information to complete the table using the same method as we did previously. So what figure is missing from here? The number of children that chose thriller, 10. What was the total number of children? So we're just going to add the three figures in a row. 48. The total number of adults, we know there was 100. 48 of them were children, which means 52 must have been adults. How many adults chose comedy? There's 52 adults in total. 25 chose sci-fi, 12 chose thriller, meaning it must have been 15 chose comedy. The total of adults and children that chose sci-fi, we add them together, gives us 45. And lastly, we can either use the column or the row. It's probably easier to add up the column. So 15 plus 18 gives us 33. And that's how we work through it. In exam questions, the clues may not be given in the right order, and some of the clues may also be red herrings. So you've got to be careful of this. Make sure that when you work through there, the first line might not tell you what you need to know. You may have to go through every line, find something, and then go back and check the other lines. And again, some of the information in there could be not incorrect, but won't help you find any answers. So you try to catch your outline. So back to the worksheet again, exercise 3. Work through those questions and pause the video and come back once you've done that. So hopefully not too many worries. Question 1, table. B, we've got a probability of 3 out of 10. For C, probability is 2 out of 5. D, the ratio is 9:4. Question 2, there's our table. Part B, 13 out of 40. C is 3 out of 8. And D, the ratio of 5:4. So two-way tables can be used to record outcomes of events. A stall at a fete has 2 spinners. To play, you spin each spinner and your score is the sum of the 2 scores on each of the spinners. So that one spins round. You've got a score of 1 on the first one. And on the second one, we've got a score of 4, giving us a total of 5. Draw a two-way table to show all of the possible outcomes. So the 2 variables are the possible scores on spinner 1 and the possible scores on spinner 2. There's our table. Spinner 1, you can score 1, 2, 3 or 4. And on spinner 2, you can score 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. The blank boxes in the main part of the two-way table are the sum of the 2 scores. So the number in this box would be 2 plus 1, 3. This box would be 3 plus 4. And this box would be a 4 on spinner 1 and a 2 on spinner 2, giving us a total of 6. So pause the video and complete the table. So they're all the missing values. So as you can see here, we don't have totals columns on here because they're probably misleading. They're not really going to help us that much. But what it is you will probably need is the total number of outcomes. So you count them up, or you multiply 5 times 4. Either way, we know the total number of outcomes is 20. So we can now use this to work out our probabilities. Right, exercise 4, question 1. Start working through the worksheet. Once you've done it all, come back and then we'll check your answers. So pause the video now and do that. So for question 1, there's our two-way table. Part B, probability of being a prime number is 13 out of 30. The probability that it's not odd is 1 out of 2. And the probability that is less than or equal to 4 is 1 out of 5. Question 2, A. There's your table. Part B, probability is 1 out of 4. Part C, probability is 2 out of 3. And for D, probability or the percentage is 50%. So if you have any problems with that, go back, work through the video or watch the video again and then work through the parts that you struggle with. If not, well done.